finally here. I can't wait. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. NFL Blitz. Legends? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Good morning to you. It's a beautiful, well, I say beautiful. It's raining like cats and dogs outside, but it's also raining. Some information, leaks popping last night, phones, chimes, alerts going off, and I'm just trying to get some sleep. But wow, an image, one image. You're going to listen. Do you want to see a guy make the most out of one image? You've come to the right place. I'm so glad everybody's taking a minute to stop by. I know it's early, kind of a crazy time to stream, I know, but you know what's better? What's better than one guy making a lot about an image is, you know, maybe more than one guy. Say hi to Justin and Michael B gracing us with his genie presence. Guys, what's going on? How you doing? Good morning.
We are everywhere.
All the time.
Behind the scenes. Pulling the strings.
Pulling the strings. The little puppet master. So what's going on, everybody? Let's say hi to the chat real quick. Justin is in the chat, and he's also on
the chat
panel. Once again, everywhere.
I can be in two places at one time.
It's crazy. Matthew McConaughey, thank you so much for waking up to say, all right, all right, all right. Love it, love it. Big Vicious 75. This sounds legendary. Play on words, perhaps. A Tran fan, what the hey? What a way to wake up, right? To start your day with a little bit of news. Terry Lorenz says, I hope it's real. The art looks way better than the original. It's interesting. It's definitely a departure, that's for sure. Joey Hansen 904. I feel my bank account getting lighter just looking at the picture. It's sad. It's what happens. They just sort of pulls out. I'm not going to read the name, but thanks for being here. Rumor is that 19K Fox has procured a Blitz cabinet. Rumor unconfirmed.
I've heard a rumor that guy is going on an adventure.
Come on, Foxy Fox, you're late. I'm not gonna be the first. It's okay. It's fine. It's all right. I don't mind coming in later. Congrats on 5K subscribers. Hey, thank you so much. Yes. 5K happened, and it was a great thing. Really, all just because of you crazy guys deciding to stop by and check out the channel and smashing a button. I appreciate it very much. Jolly Green, good to see you, buddy. I have a feeling it's only going to have a few of the players without hits. We're going to talk about it. Harry X, morning, Fox. How you doing, Harry? Good to see you, buddy. Good morning. Maybe catching some people on the way to work. That'd be kind of interesting. Don't look at the screen. Just listen and drive. Okay. Definitely want to, hands at 10 and 2, eyes on the wheel. JL, doesn't the artwork make you think only 3 teams could be licensed? Oh, that's interesting.
Theory. Yeah.
That's
interesting. All the money they had, it just ran out at that point.
It just you buy 3 and that's it. You hope that you get the other ones. It's like baseball cards. You don't know what you're going to get. They just bought a pack. It's like, okay, I guess this is who we got. Big Reese, what's going on, buddy? Jean-Pierre, good morning, guys. Good morning to you indeed. Chris P, it's the Illuminati Breakfast Club.
There you go.
I like that. So we got Nick Garula in. What's up, guys? Looks great, but I'm not a fan of the art yet. A little bit of a caveat. So, guys, let's first off, good morning. How you doing? Mike, you're in front of me. Justin, you're behind me as far as time zones. How you feeling this morning?
I like being in the time sandwich that you've described.
You are my favorite bun.
Doing pretty good. You know, what really upsets me is that all this news came out this morning, literally hours before Arcade1up plans to officially announce their one cabinet today. That's it. Like it's completely just out there now.
Well, I think this gives credence to Mike's thought. His theory is that this is the cabinet they're going to release at EVO.
I just, you know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for Shaq. I mean, he flew to Vegas today for nothing.
All the thunder is completely gone. It's so sad. So you guys, you want to, we're only 5 minutes in. You want to go ahead and let's take a look at the actual picture. Get some initial thoughts. Yeah. The image that leaked around the world. This is it. So, guys, first impressions. What do you think? Just looking overall, you saw it. Assuming it's a real render for Arcade1up, what do you think?
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing about it. When I looked at it, there's a lot of times where I've seen Arcade1up cabinets that were different than the original. and I immediately looked at it and went, "Oh my God, no! What the heck is that?" And with this one, I'm like, "Hey, that's okay." They obviously had to change the artwork, but it doesn't look bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, it actually looks pretty good, but I have a lot of questions. Why the signatures? Why the legends at the bottom? What does that mean? The slanted control deck looks amazing, right? So we had these theories based on the original pictures that we saw, right? That it was going to be the Mortal Kombat design, as we've called it, which you'd probably call it the Arcade1up generic Legends cabinet. But yeah, it's not bad, man.
Mike, what do you think?
Well, there's definitely some improvements over last generations.
Give it a second. Kaboom!
I shouldn't have done that bump this morning. Sorry, guys. So,
whatever you got to do to start your day, buddy.
So there's some things I like about the cabinet that are an improvement over the last generation's 4-player cabinet. For example, one, the screen is on the same angle as the cutouts on the side. I know a lot of people were critical of that on the last generation. The screen was on a different angle than the side panel, so that looks really good. The marquee, the placement, the cabinet form factor looks excellent. Like really, really, really cool. The control panel apparently is a recreation of what they did with Blitz 99. That looks great. The color scheme, the art, everything. As a piece of art, this looks really good. I'm a huge Brett Favre fan. Nice to see the gunslinger on the side. It's just hard for me because I'm in the nostalgia category. Whenever I see one of these cabinets, I want it to be a recreation of the original. So like I look at this and I say, okay, well, it looks good. I'm happy for people. I'm disappointed it's not a recreation of the original, but I obviously need more information to kind of understand why they went this direction.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a choice. Like should we make it exactly like the original, or have to do something different? They're like, oh, let's do something different. It feels like they're required to do it, but it's all about when you have that requirement, what are you doing with it? Like, do you do a good job?
It's funny. I had sort of the same reaction you did, Justin, where I sometimes, like Big Blue comes to mind, where I recoil when I see the render, like, oh, what is that? And then later on you warm up to it. This looks great. I think we've kind of primed ourselves also. I know this is sort of my theory. I think pretty widely accepted by everybody else, and it wasn't my theory. Everybody else sort of had this opinion. We're gonna get that midway / legacy shape. I was actually hoping that we were going to get the slanted control panel also with the 4-player design. Looks like we are, which is I think it's encouraging. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be comfortable. That angle is really on my MK30th. I really enjoy that angle, so that's nice. But Mike, I think you touched on maybe the biggest point out of all this is going to be authenticity versus a departure. We've seen some of the same discussions with the Yoga Flame, with the Shinku Hadouken versions of those Street Fighter cabinets. While they got a cool shape, they've got a great marquee and control panel. What are you doing on the side? So that's could be a concern.
Yeah, one of the great things about this, even with the NBA Jam Shack edition, is if it's the side panel that's incorrect, that's a pretty easy fix. There's art out there that's easily applicable if you want the original. You never want to do that, but it's harder when the control panel is messed up. That's the tough one, right?
Because fair.
Because you've got it. Because usually, if you want to replace that, overlaying it and cutting holes out is one thing, but you're not gonna have labeling in the correct places, and it's just gonna be off. It's gonna be wonky. It's gonna be a real problem. So I agree with you. And looking at this render, I think we're probably not going to have some of those issues. But let's look a little bit deeper into it. Yeah. One thing I noticed, and one thing that was sort of a source of or point of contention, was the authenticity of some of those. Really, the one leak we had before this, and that was the Deion Sanders physical cabinet that he had behind him. And there was a lot of attention paid to the fact that there was no NFL players logo or the NFL logo on it. But I pointed out in a live stream, we're looking at the reverse, so we should see the Midway logo. It not being there wasn't a surprise to me because we haven't seen the Midway branding on anything else really for the most part. But in this image, guys, we see it up in that corner, assuming this is a render, which it is a render. I mean, look at it. It's a render.
Yeah.
the Midway logo, what is the discrepancy signify, or is it just a render? What do you guys think?
It's hard to say. I would say it's the worst case scenario is this is a picture that was leaked. It's an unintended leak. It's not the final version, and Midway wanted so much money to be able to put their logo on it, and Arcade1up decided not to go in that direction. And then when it comes out, the marquee won't have the logo. I think the logo's kind of small. But I think the bigger thing is we were wrong. There was a theory about the NFL logo, which there it is, slapped on the side there, really
big and bold,
like,
isn't it? Yep.
Yeah.
Mike, as far as authenticity goes, does the marquee kind of give you a little bit of hope? Because it looks pretty much spot on to what we know from back in the day.
Yeah. Marquee is absolutely fine. There's no issue there. That, like I said, that's a good thing. The Midway, honestly, guys, for those of you not paying attention at home, I know that they put it on the render, but how often have we actually seen company names up on the marquees? You don't see the company name up on the marquee usually. I saw that.
Yeah. This is the render could be wildly inaccurate, and I think I trust a physical thing more than I would this, but that's not to say that Deion Sanders has the production version. I mean, it's safe to say he got his pretty quick, and something like reprinting a marquee that could easily be done later on for the production model.
That's interesting because the point you bring up could mean it could go in both directions. Is the artwork that was the render that was released the plan of what they were going for, but Deion Sanders has the production version. Exactly. And so they didn't do the Midway. So I wouldn't I guess we'll find out when the announcement actually takes place, because we'd probably be able to zoom in on the Arcade1up images on their website once it's announced.
Yeah, it's only a little bit longer now. We'll have to wait. I mean, that comes up 9 a.m. Pacific time today from Evo, so it's only a little while away right now.
Yeah, and they'll have the NFL Blitz cab there, and then we've said too much.
I just really wish we had another angle of the cabinet, because then we could see if there's an NFL logo on the marquee as well.
Okay, I did. I was going to save this to the end, but I can't wait. I'm so excited. So I'm glad that other YouTubers have gotten their hands on an image, but I have an exclusive image. It's really exciting. It's really telling. It's actually the other side of this cabinet. And Mike, I got it. It's really cool. Mike, I'd love to get your 2 cents, guys. What do you think about this?
It's beautiful.
Let me know what you think.
Absolutely beautiful.
I think he's there. Jack is always there.
I love how they went with a mirror version of the other side of the cabinet as well.
It's a unique, it's a stylistic choice to actually print the NFL logo incorrectly on one side.
It's even better. The print on the other side of the cabinet is a picture of Shaq in front of an NBA champion.
Exactly. He's in the background. If you look in this image, you can see his shoulder, and in this, it's amazing.
So I also do have something to tell you guys. Unfortunately, we are serious. This is what's going to be announced today. The original plan was to announce another game, but unfortunately, YouTubers like P-Dubs leaked it early, so they had to go with something different. So blame P-Dubs.
Yeah.
Thanks, P-Dubs.
Sucks so bad. I was in that meeting last night, and they were just so upset about that
Incredibly
they had to change everything. I mean, people flew to Vegas, It's pretty bad.
They had to get Shaq last minute to announce this. It was crazy.
It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be cheap. It's not gonna be a cheap weekend at all. But hey, we're just cogs in the wheel, right? So let's look at we look at that, and I think that's interesting. Justin, it's funny how the argument can actually go both ways.
It can, yeah.
Deion has the original. Deion has the production model, and there's a discrepancy in the artwork. So like you or the rendering, and like you said, hey, this was our goal. We couldn't get it together, so we had to scratch it. Or he's got a pre-production model. They wanted him just to be able to get his hands on it, to get his thoughts. and they just slapped it together, and there could be no other logos on this thing at all. Just a Blitz cabinet, maybe even no side art.
What if it doesn't even have NFL on it?
What if it just has Shaq on both sides? I mean, it's very possible.
Yeah, I've actually seen the finished cabinet, and Justin, you touched on something that's very important there. It doesn't have NFL on it, unfortunately.
Oh,
they had to go somewhere else, so it actually has CFL, the Canadian Football League.
I think it's great.
I'm sorry, guys. There are some concessions. There are no rogues, no rogues. So unfortunately, that had to be taken out of the game.
CFL Blitz just doesn't have that ring to it.
But it's close, right? Baby. It's like Canada. It's like America Light. You're almost there. You're almost there.
Almost there.
So let's look at the control panel. And there's a ton of stuff going on here. Mike, you're saying this is more of the Blitz 99 control panel. I was thinking maybe this was Showtime, but I'm probably off. I don't remember because I was thinking
NBA
about the lights. The Showtime cab where they had both, and they kind of had that design. But I think you're right. I think Blitz 99 is probably what you're looking at there. A couple things. Let me first get your thoughts on the angle of a 4-player cab. What do you guys think about that? They've always been flat before.
Yeah, I mean, keeping with the new design, this is good. And this is what I've been thinking about with Arcade1up. Every single year, they come out with a new design cabinet. And we're learning more and more that, it's not really the Midway Mortal Kombat shape. It's just this. It's the 2022 model, right? And for them to keep on putting it on more cabinets is good, but this one looks really good because it's the so-called Midway shaped cabinet on the Midway cabinet. I don't know why I keep doing quotes, but it's
I think that's appropriate because no one's actually technically calling it the Midway style, the Midway design. We are in the community because that's what we recognize.
Yeah.
I think we should all just be thankful that the cabinet just looks like an arcade cabinet as opposed to that swan neck design we had originally. So, it's fine to pick hairs to say like, oh, that's a Midway shape, that's X shape, that's Y shape. It just looks like an arcade cabinet. There's no weird giant flaps at the front coming out from the marquee. There's no swan neck design. Regardless of what it is, let's just be thankful. It really looks like an arcade cabinet.
I'm really happy with the shape. I love my MK30. It's so comfortable. They got the angle and the height correct. I think that there's a slight angle variation when you're talking about Big Blue, but because of the height difference, it just wasn't comfortable for me. MK30, fighting game, you really want to get relaxed because you're going to be frantically hitting buttons. It's comfortable. I think this is really cool too. I like that they've maintained that. I think this also means that the side panels are going to be the same. You're not going to have a different side panel that's sort of cut down to accommodate a flat control panel. That would have also made like the bezel would have been different shaped and all that. So I'm glad that they're just sticking with that because I think that means that production costs are going to come down some. They're not going to have to retool for some slightly different shape, which I think would be weird.
Yes.
But I like this. I like the fact that we don't have the black bottom anymore. Like usually on your 4 players, you just have the black bottom and and that's it. You have artwork on the side, which is really cool. Does that matter to you guys? Does that look better than the black? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it looks better, but I see something. How many orange buttons are there? Count them.
No, there are 5.
Why are there 5?
It's
only a 4-player game.
What rhymes with 5? Live?
Yeah.
Jive.
Jive is it's a different show.
I mean, it's not like they would put together this cabinet and then you would have a leaderboard, right? Like, why would you have that live button? Like, this is online.
I think it has to be at this point. And I think it's really cool. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Chasing leaderboards is more fun than I thought. It really is. I mean, I've dedicated hours.
Yeah, but how do you
even
play,
days?
How do you do leaderboard on a game like NBA Jam or NFL Blitz?
You're going to have individual stats, or what I'm hoping is co-op play.
I think it's got to be co-op
head to head. I mean, it's 4 players, right? I think you have to do it. I think we have to see it. I mean, if they can do it with MK30th and other cabs. I think they've kind of got the formula down. I hope, knock on wood, right? I would love for this to be co-op.
But if it doesn't have spectate mode, I'm not playing.
Well,
I'm not
of
buying
course
it.
not. I'll burn it
Nope.
immediately.
No lobbies. I'm out. I want a lobby where I can go in there and be like, I want to play with my buddies. Come on, guys.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. This is going to be something. I think I'm pumped about it. I'm excited. There's some concerns that we're going to talk about in a minute. Before we move on, though, Justin accurately found the 5th orange button, which was like, the Easter egg. Live is almost a guarantee. I think it's a lock. In front of or above and just slightly to the right of what I assume is the first player orange button. Looks like a headphone jack, I guess.
Yep.
I think so,
and then, so you got that, and you got your on-off switches.
I think the headphone jack is really important on this. While you're playing with your 4 friends, you can all share the same set of headphones back and forth to listen to it.
Sweaty pads on the ears. That's gonna be awesome. So I think it's cool.
Yeah, so I just now noticed that on the top of the control panel, it has that like lighting, right, as well.
Okay.
So what is that? Is that from? I'm looking at pictures of like the various NFL Blitz. Did someone just make that up and come up with the design and be like, hey, you know what, a NFL game, they always have the lights that are attached. Oh, what was it called? I don't even know what that's called.
For the set lighting.
Yeah, the set lighting.
Yeah, that. That's why I was thinking that was maybe more of like, I think that was on the Showtime cab, but I'm not sure.
I'm trying to find that as well. Go ahead.
That image is a little bit different. So I like what I'm seeing so far. We're trying to make the most out of one image. I get it, but here's the next part. This is kind of weird. This is kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about this. I've got some reservations. So I don't think there's any surprise. We're talking about a riser. That's fine. I don't have any issue with it. It's fine. We also see a panel break like MK30th, which was why we have the extra, switches, or not switches, but screws there on the side there. The signatures are, I don't know, guys. What do you think? A plus or a minus? I mean, it's kind of weird that you have these 3 players specifically signed on: Deion Sanders, Terrell Davis, and then Brett Favre. Let me just throw it out there. What if you're not a fan of either one of these guys?
I don't know. Like, I'm pretty much Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, and big nerd that doesn't really get into sports. But I could imagine some people, people buy posters that have like signatures and hang them on the wall. Mm-hmm. But more interesting to me is, why the hell is the word Legends? It's like a part of the logo. It's a part of the logo.
Yeah, so there's a couple schools of thought on that. Before we get there, let's go back to the signature piece. I don't think this is a huge surprise. That seemed to be a big co-branding type thing. That seemed to be a big market for Arcade1up last year. I mean, we see it with the Shaq cab. I mean, they could have just made an NBA Jam XL cab. Everybody would have bought it. Shaq's involvement really doesn't add much value to it other than the deal they have with Epson to print the marquees. But Shaq's image and likeness really didn't add anything. So this is maybe just a marketing concept that they need to co-brand their products with things. So the signatures on the side, the touch of the gunslinger Brett Favre, one of the greatest of all time, Deion Sanders, and who's the other one? Ray Lewis? Terrell Davis. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I think that's just a way to co-brand, and maybe these guys are going to be ambassadors of the game for Arcade1up.
So I like what we're seeing as far as the short little extension piece. So that makes me think, okay, this is totally 100% the Midway/Legacy style, design, height. Everything's going to be what we expect. We should expect from that other cabinet. So that's good, because I like that design. I like that style. If you're not a fan of that, well, that may be a point of concern from you. I think you have 3 guys, NFL greats, who have technically, they have actually signed on to this project. And I think the reason why they needed that is because of what Justin said, the word Legends. This is going to be, I think, the most hotly debated point of this cab before it comes out, and then probably confirmed after it comes out. what is NFL Legends? So if you go to Google, if you go to the internet and you try to find, if you type in NFL Blitz Legends, you're not going to find anything. You'll see Blitz the League, you'll see all these PS2 games and Xbox games, but as far as the arcade is concerned, there's no NFL Blitz Legends. How do you guys feel about that?
Is there an official Legends roster? NFL Legend roster. Like,
I'll look that up while you guys are talking.
These are the legendary players. Someone mentioned it in the chat, and I thought that was an interesting theory. The other thing, while we're talking about the signatures, someone pointed out something interesting. If you don't like the signatures, good thing they're at the bottom. You know, if they're actually like kind of down and
So Shay Glover has a really interesting comment. He thinks that the Legends has to do with the fact that the game will also have Gauntlet Legends included.
Right.
Because that's
finally
really tie-in.
Yeah. But what's interesting is it says NFL Blitz Legends, and it's one thing, you know, they have the Legacy cabinet, but that's Legacy versus Legends. But the Legends logo is not on the riser, you know, and it's not on the marquee. So they just kind of like threw the Legends on the side next to the signature.
I think it's a weird, it's almost, that's why I hope that, or I think that maybe this render is not complete. It's not 100%, because if you're going to have Legends on the side art, but not on the front, and did we not see it on the marquee either? It's not up there.
Yeah.
So is it just specifically the side art? Maybe it looks like it's attached to the logo, but it's not. So we're getting NFL Blitz, but Legends is some sort of
it only has these 3 Legends in it.
That's it. You just have to play it over and over and over again.
Okay, there's just so much to unpack here. One, we see the live button. Someone just broke this down. This is a joint product between Arcade1up and At Games. This is the NFL Blitz Legends Ultimate Mini, and the live actually brings you to ArcadeNet, and you just have to play squash. There's no actual NFL Blitz.
It's so great. I heard they're coming out with a pro version.
So,
right, but it's going to be called the Legends Ultimate.
Oh,
the NFL Blitz Legends.
That's going to be
Ultimate.
great.
So I do have a theory on the Legends branding, and hopefully it's a theory that'll make people relax. I don't think this necessarily means a changed ROM so much as maybe the branding's on there as part of their agreement with the NFL, because they don't want to confuse older players that are no longer with the league with the current branding and players in the league. That's my hope, that the focus is on Legends, just to explain that this is the old game and not representative of the current NFL rosters.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And they're like, the contract said you just have to have the word Legends on there. They're like, okay, let's put it on the bottom side.
Nobody wanted to do some Dion. Everybody's fine. Dion's like, no. I got to have a legend above my name. Okay, fine, Dion, whatever. We'll put that on there.
Oh, that's a good theory too.
There's something. It's a caveat. It's something he wanted. It's you know, it's also next to the NFL Greats logo on the side, which is I think it's separate than the Players Association. It deals specifically with retired players and some of the greats and the legends, the greatest players within the league. So there's probably a lot going on here on this lower piece here that
we're sitting here talking about it. Come to find out, Legends is just attribution to some association,
or maybe
nothing to do with the logo.
Or maybe it was just. I don't remember. I don't think this is the case, but maybe that's just like the belt that Brett was wearing at the time when they took this picture. So it's not even part of the logo. It's just on his pants. Legends.
I think if Legends actually related to the game itself, it would be up on the top marquee. It would be everywhere. I think this is just really to show off the artwork more than anything else. That's my guess. The new artwork is the Legends piece, these 3 individuals.
Can you get one with different players, maybe? It's like, I don't like these guys. Can I get somebody else? Oh, sure. Just pick from a list or a roster of different. Maybe you can mix and match your players on the side. You go to the Arcade1up website.
I'm not going to rest until I have an NFL Blitz cab with Rich Gannon on the side. Rich the Cannon Gannon.
Give this man what he desires, what he deserves. And we got something. Listen, I can't just sit here and have just our 3 opinions on this. We got to go with somebody who's probably in the know. He's probably playing the cab right now. It's B. What's going on, buddy? How the hell are you? Good to see you.
Going on, guys? It is early. What the hell are you guys doing live? You guys go live at all times.
Yeah,
that's okay.
I drew a picture last night, and everybody thinks it's the real cab, so I wanted to talk about it.
You are talented, but you are talented.
His Photoshop's
my
bomb,
man.
right?
Ooh, he's sleuthing. Things get leaked here and there, and who can deny that this looks very, very much like a real deal thing. So
B, you got to be pretty disappointed. I mean, it's out now. NFL Blitz Legend. I mean, Justin Wong confirmed it last night that Gauntlet Legends was going to be part of this. So, I mean, it's out there. The cab that you're announcing today.
No, my goodness, what a single day for. I mean, this Friday is hype. There's Space Invaders coming out. There's already leaked, and that Arcade1up show is gonna go live in about 2.5 hours. And the steam might have left the engine, but I think it could add some more hype. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Oh no, that's an NFL Blitz stool.
Well, B, I also to add insult to injury, I was able to obtain the side art from the other side of the cab, and it really just puts a fine point on all the reveals that were going to happen this weekend. Sad to say, it's I know it's all been spoiled. So it is what it is.
So good. You knew that had to be it. Wouldn't it be funny if they actually made a Shaq version just for out of spite?
I think they should put Shaq on every cab going forward. Qbert, Shaq on the side.
Oh, you even want Shaq on Robotron?
Yeah. Shaq on Robotron. Everybody hates the art on Robotron on the side, apparently. So just throw Shaq on there, his big white silhouette while he's eating a chicken wing, whatever.
Just whatever he's doing.
So while the cat's out of the bag, I can neither confirm nor deny that this is a real pick. But I can confirm that, there has been a lot of work going towards this more than what's in the picture. Okay. So I just think about that in terms of if you think you can see the cabinet, you see the new control panel design, and some small conversations that I've had. There's some interesting new things we've not ever seen before in an Arcade1up cabinet that is going to be on this cabinet. So that's all I'm going to give in terms of that special little
third screen.
Did you see
it could something hidden, something. And these videos are fun because now it's the first time you're seeing a leak of the actual cabinet and stuff. So now real speculation begins. But, you already have a new control deck-ish, right?
Yes, we saw that. Yes, looking good. We're liking the slant, B.
Yeah, and then, that little extra edge piece, right? So, I mean, it does look a little bit different. I like the artwork on it specifically. But there's going to be some good surprises that I think people would be very, very happy to see. How it actually works out, we will find out once it comes out.
So B, do you full on work for Arcade1up right now?
No.
How do you have this information?
No,
not at all. Why would you say that?
I'm getting very, very close to the sun, and I at that sometimes. Justin, you might know how this feels sometimes. So obviously, people know that I've been working with John at least the last month more than I ever have closely because I've been doing 3 events, and this really I didn't think I was going to be doing this many things, but sometimes he'll be like, hey, you want to see something? And then I'm like, sure. And then after I see it, I'm like, what do I do with this information? I can't really say anything or do anything.
Tough. That's tough. Have you ever been in a situation where you said, hey, Justin, you want to, hey, B, do you want to see something? You said, no, it's COVID.
It's COVID.
Sorry, I can't do that.
That should be my default answer if he says hey, you want to see something? And then I'm like,
it's COVID.
Okay. But it's tough in that situation where you kind of have seen something. Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice to have that information at the same time. I think you're in a situation too, Mike, where you kind of knew the roadmap. Kind of spoils things for you without knowing what to say a little bit. So I felt a little bit funky the last month with that, not knowing what I shouldn't. Do I feel like myself? Am I show? I don't know. I'm confused about my identity these days.
So it's tough because a lot of people don't realize, everybody is oh, you YouTubers, you evil YouTubers, you're just here for this. But some people forget we're fans and we like being out here speculating because that's part of the fun. And when it kind of takes you out of the game because you can't speculate because so it sucks. So
Yeah.
that's what I found. I hated knowing, because then the rest of the
Mhm.
year I was just like, so I'm just waiting for stuff to come out. But of course, there were some surprises like T2, Ridge Racer. So
Mhm.
they still kept us on our
Genuine
toes.
surprises where you're like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think I do miss that feeling of like truly it, but it is fun to see some of the behind the scene things.
Mhm.
But I think this many things that I've been doing this fast has been a lot. It just so happens there were local things that I was already planning on going to. So that's all it is. You know, people will see this and take it for what it is. But Justin, you kind of had that too. I think once you saw something, did you I think the Arcade1up Juniors was an example where you actually coined the unofficial term of it based on that information. Was that just something that came out of nowhere that you decided? I'm kind of curious when you have information like this. How did
Let's
you?
see. It wasn't actually often, because like the Killer Instinct, we had information on that just the day before, I think. 3
Mhm.
days before, I want to say. So it didn't look like the Mortal Kombat design, kind of that newer. It looked like the previous generation. So we made the recommendations that it should have more of the slanting and stuff like that. But like, I think we were told about it on Friday, and then we had a show on it Sunday revealing it, right? So there was never like this. It was funny because like I never got the leak that Mike did. So Mike was one time telling me, he was like, "You're making all these theory videos, and you obviously know what it
Sure.
is." And I'm like, I didn't get that memo. Like, I didn't get the memo at all. Like, and he's like, "Why would you make that video about, well, you know, they're not making that." I'm like, I know they're not making, I don't know they're not making that. I don't have the inside information, right? The other hard part is I've seen a few cabs that they want to do that have never been released. So, I mean, you might come into that situation, B, where it's like, here's a full design of a cabinet, and you're like, oh my god, that would be amazing, and then like, yeah, it's never happening.
And it's so frustrating too, because you're like, oh man, this is coming out like Double Dragon, and then it never comes out, and you're like, son of a bitch.
Swing and a miss.
That, but I think John has alluded that there have been some, just spoof leaks.
Yeah.
AKA track and field was one that I don't know how real it was in terms of Randy, but
It was,
I
it
don't
was
know.
real.
Was it?
Yeah, so I think what happens, a lot of our leaks do come from retailers, and it's not intentional. But Big Reese, who was in the chat earlier, I don't know if he's still here. I mean, he has his GameSpot hookup or whatever it is, and like I probably outed him, which I shouldn't have done now. But you go into a store and they'll tell you what happens and shit like that. So they don't have the full list. They have the list of what Arcade1up is trying to sell, what Arcade1up is putting out there as potential cabinets that retailers can pick up. It still all depends on retailers on whether or not they're going to order enough for Arcade1up to go through with the project. So stuff like Double Dragon and I never seen Smash TV actually happen, but Double Dragon and what was the one we just said? Track and field. They were cabs I think Arcade1up 100% intended to make, just didn't get the retailer support that they were hoping for.
And that makes a lot of sense. Now, B, we're not going to talk about what you can't talk about, but what do you think of this? Were you shocked that this image came out? I don't even know, honestly, if this was part of an ad. It just sort of was sent to me. So we're maybe speculating on something that's completely off, but I don't really think that it is. But what do you think? What are your 2 cents on this?
I think it's a mystery on how it got put out there. But the sleuthy guys found a way to get this photo out there, and from a first look, pure aesthetic wise,
Yes.
I think it looks really hot. I think NFL fans of the cabinet, I don't think we've had a purple trim cab before,
No,
but
yeah.
it really pops, and I dig it. That look of it is definitely very, very, very nice in terms of aesthetics. I do like the look.
Yeah, Fox, do you have any images of the original NFL Blitz up and ready for people to see? Because I think people sometimes forget, like, the original Blitz cab is iconic, but it's also not pretty. Like, I mean,
No, it's not.
Because it's just a giant midway shape. So, are you glad, Mike, of the look?
Form factor, love it. It's just where I come from, and my hope for Arcade1up is always going to be a recreation of the original cab. So I understand why they did what they did. I need to understand more about it, but it looks good. I hope people are happy. but I would have rather have seen the original cab. But I do want to show what the original cab looked like so people can get a frame of reference of why maybe if it was just an aesthetic reason why they did this, because the original cab is rough. It's got like N64 graphics on the side.
It's not the greatest.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's just like the
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am pulling up. I don't know if this is the first. I think this is the first one. Give me just 1 second here. I've got this old slide.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Not the greatest looking cab for sure, but at the time it was pretty awesome.
That's actually Blitz 99, and you can see the control panel that we've been looking at.
Yep, that's right. No, you're 100% right. Yeah, the light thing going on. Yeah. So that's one. I think Justin just added another.
Is this the other artwork you're talking about?
That's one side of Blitz. Yeah.
Okay.
There's different sides or different cabinets. I can't remember exactly what it is.
So are you sad they didn't use the original art then? Do you like the new one? Because this then is not authentic to the original. Okay.
I would rather it be authentic, but I need to know more about why they did it. That's the thing. When you don't get the story, you look at a picture. Like, again, we've spent 40 minutes talking about a picture, and we don't have so many of the other factors. You said you can't wait till people see more about this. And we don't have the story of the co-branding. Like, obviously, there's a reason their signatures are on it. These guys are endorsing the product. It seems to be a tie-in like Shaq. Without that story, we don't know why they changed the side art.
And we don't know the thing B was saying where this is them doing something brand new, which I'm guessing it has something to do with that Legends. My theory is going towards the ROM has been reworked so much from the original source. It's basically a brand new game. And Arcade1up is publishing in 2022 a game that's based on original assets.
All I can say is that, for those folks that said this was a license that would be made impossible to get, a lot of the things that align with them being in Miami, partnering with the NFL early on, you can see the early signs of working towards this, obviously. I think there's just been a lot of...
That's the funny thing. I mean, it's not exactly like it was a subtle friggin' chess move.
No, kind of on the nose, guys. Yeah.
And then people are like, "Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They don't have any ties to the NFL." No, they're set up in Miami's stadium.
Yeah, that would have been a great place to make an announcement for this, right? So.
Or at Shaq's Funhouse during Super Bowl weekend.
Which that would have been the better place. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So I was thinking. I think, Fox, you probably have all the dates and titles of the GameFly leaks buried into your head. Ooh, that's a good artwork.
I just wanted to bring this up a little bit. You've got the later iterations, the Showtime Cab, the Split. You've got the Blitz over there on the 2000 gold onto the left. But in the middle is I grabbed that artwork from the internet because it was the thing about Blitz for me. And I think a lot of people is the over-the-top, crazy, cartoonish nature of the game. It wasn't just a simulation. It wasn't a Madden game. It was a crazy over-the-top game. And this kind of silly render here, this character, really broadcasts that. It really announces as like, hey, this is not, this isn't exactly going to be a recreation. It's going to be more of a fun take on the game. Not including that implies a little bit. I know that there's probably a lot of licensing, like we've said, we don't really know about all of it. We don't have the whole story. But when you remove this silly character on the side, the authenticity takes a little bit of a hit. And then now what are you implying? What are you saying this game is when you're talking about obviously photorealistic pictures, images, legends, signatures? Are we going for something that's going to be a little less cartoonish? Maybe even a different take on the ROM and the game, some of those concerns of no late hits. That's where I think, depending on which side of the aisle you're on, you can read into this either way. What do you guys think? Too much?
Have you ever seen an NFL Legends game? Like when they play Legends game, I think this is all making sense now because they can't tackle. So this is going to be NFL Blitz Legends.
Oh, no.
Football.
Oh. They've modified the ROM, so it's what's that called when you play without tackling? It's
flag football.
Yeah, it's flag football. Yeah, it's the
Hall
of Fame
see a little
game.
thing hanging, and the guy grabs it, right?
It's wow, that would not be good. We do have a $5 super chat from Steps Gaming, $4.99. The cabinet is sexy AF. They nailed this. Wow, John D
It is a
deserves
nice
mad
cabinet.
props. Now I want this cabinet too. I'm not. I don't think. I mean, we'll take a vote. I think it. No matter what you think about the departures, the cabinet looks great. It's a good
Ooh,
looking cab.
Fox, do you have a vote ready?
I have my hand up.
No, I want the community vote, right? Can you?
All right, everybody. So let me know. One up. What did they do? How did they do in your opinion? Let me go ahead and throw a poll quick in the chat. I want to know gut reaction. We're not talking about the ROM because we don't know about the ROM. We're not talking about controls. We're not even talking about the monitor. I want to know, what do you think? Do you like this? Let me know over here. The poll is going to go up in just 1 second. You know what? I'll just make it a simple question. Do you like this cabinet?
Do you like me? Check yes or no.
John
Are
D
we
in the
best
chat.
friends? Do you
Flag football can be violent.
So I lost my train of thought.
I'm
flag
sorry,
football
Mike.
and best friends and hugs and notes being passed in elementary
Polls.
school. And John D's like, hey, flag football, it's fun. He also said it's so early. I think he means where he is and he's waking up now, not the cabinet. But it's probably applicable to both. So
B looks tired, man. You look like you were up
How-
all night putting together an Arcade1up cabinet and having to use the instructions.
I think you're muted, buddy. There you go.
No idea what you're talking about, Mike. But,
That's
you
why
know,
he
I
muted
know how to
himself.
build Arcade1up cabinets in my sleep. Thank you very much. So
Nice.
Literally.
totally possible.
Literally.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, you know, because you were building it last night, does the control panel on NFL Blitz look the way it shows in the picture?
Wouldn't
And
that be
here's the
great
other question I have. You
for
were
not
building
doing
it last
technical-
night. Does it really have the Midway logo and the marquee on that NFL Blitz that you were building last night?
Oh yeah, absolutely. These are all 100% accurate because as Fox is showing there, that was an inverse image that we see of Dion. So
There we are.
I can say they're not afraid to put the appropriate logos on said marquees that might be coming out. So
Wow.
it's kind of cool to see that.
Dope.
But will
That
there
would be
be
awesome.
washouts? Will there be a good monitor? Will there
So
be
many more questions.
what can we talk a little bit about? So the form factor itself, do you think it's just an MK30th or have you like compared it? Does it really look different? Is it like
I think it's a slightly updated version of their 4-player cabinet from last year.
Oh, I see. Yeah, slightly updated version.
Slightly, yeah.
Look at
Slightly.
the little riser extension. Like,
Yeah.
is that another just mini 3-inch kind of extension like the
I'm
MK30th?
thinking. No, I'm with you. I'm thinking this is straight up. The only thing different, construction wise, is going to be the width of the control panel. It looks like it's the same. In my opinion, I don't know.
If you go up to the marquee. Look at the marquee. If you look at Mortal Kombat was pretty much piece to piece. There's a little bit of a ridge. Yeah.
You're saying, okay, a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah.
Or a reset. You're talking about the recession or the height?
No. Look where the bottom S panel is compared to the side of the cabinet. If you look at Mortal Kombat, that's pretty much flush with the bottom of the cabinet.
Okay. No, I see what you're saying.
I
Okay.
have,
this has like that weird, like that J.
I have an MK if you want a hot swap between.
Oh yeah, let me swing down. Boom. Here we go. Oh, I see.
Oh no! You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I was wrong. So it is.
Of course,
the
I'm
exact
right.
same. Yeah.
I should have had a slide ready comparing these two because I think it's pretty
I think
close.
so.
Yeah. You're right.
I need to see if I can get talk amongst yourselves. Let me see if I can pull an image and try to.
So I know a lot of people. Like I woke up and it was just like everywhere in my face. The minute I woke up and opened up my phone, it was like P-Dubs did this, Toycade did this, and they were talking all about this cabinet. And I saw a lot of feedback that people were like, "Oh man, I was expecting it to be XL." So I think like people are excited now that the XL cab's coming out. But I mean, realistically, Arcade1up is a 3/4.
Someone's audio is coming through really loud.
B, is that you? B's like, I work for Arcade1up now. I don't even care. I'll just do what I want. Yeah, but I saw a lot of people say they expected for some reason this game to come out immediately in the XL line. So are you guys surprised they went with the 3/4 scale? Are you shocked that it wasn't an XL cabinet?
No, I mean, I think we heard recently that the whole XL Pro is causing more manufacturing issues. I think one of them is there was this video by Michael B, who was saying the TN monitors are the worst thing that Arcade1up has ever done. And that caused them to kind of put the brakes on the Pro and the XL. So if you want to blame someone, you got to blame the first person to crack that video.
Oh,
He's the first person that went live to talk about TN monitors and how horrible it was and break it down. Blame Mike.
I'll eat that.
For no XL or Pro.
That's so sad. That's horrible. But yes, Mike, you are solely to blame. Sorry, it is what it is. Well, it can't be. It can't be. Your involvement can't not be understated.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they come out with in this. Like, I made a video a little while ago, and there were people out there throwing out rumors saying that Blitz was going to have this TN monitor that some of the other midway cabinets and stuff had. We don't know about that. It is a possibility, but hopefully it's a better TN monitor. My guess is, I think I've always said this, I think the TN monitors were primarily for the legacy cabs at that time, but I anticipate a BOE monitor going in Blitz, but we'll see.
I really hope it's BOE for sure. So yeah, so to the marquee question, we've got that little bit of a lip on the bottom also. So, I mean, this is sort of lining up exactly. I mean, the only difference could very well be just that control panel, but it's a good point of distinction for sure.
Yeah, I think my guess is it's just the same manufacturing. It's that thing where they designed it once. They pump out a whole, they're like, hey, we're going to try to ship, I don't know, I'm making up a number, 100,000 cabs this year. So they build 100,000 pieces of wood, or they get the manufacturing process set up for that. That's another thing is, Mike and I were talking about that the other day. Like if you have an entire product line development, it's not only do you manufacture these things, but you create an assembly line for a very specific set at a manufacturer that makes these runs. If you're 2 years down the line, could Arcade1up even go back in time and do like a Star Wars cabinet again? Or does that require like the whole assembly line for that model? I don't know. That wood, that shape to be cut out in the thousands.
I think if you're talking, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Sorry.
My favorite part from the assembly line a couple of years ago was when they used to ding up one of the cabinets. Like they'd beat up a piece of the wood, like take a chip out of it. There was a guy in the assembly line with the black marker that would just color it in.
Just fill it in.
No one will care.
It's fine. It's fine. There's no problem. I think about CNC routing and how it's just a design, and it's a computer file. And you just upload that to the router and it cuts it. That's it. I don't know if that's how they do these.
I don't know.
I would think it's similar, but that being sort of the premise, it's very realistic to think, or I mean, not outside the realm of possibility. They could have all these. Somebody's got a thumb drive with all these, and it's just like, hey, okay, run design 4, and that's Star Wars. Plug it in, and the computer controlled router takes over.
Could be.
Hopefully that was sort of in Arcade1up's infancy, if that's fair. So maybe it was just a guy in the back with graph paper. just right. And then it's like, oh, it's lost to time itself. Dude, that was 2 years ago. Can't be found. It's in the pyramids. It's crazy.
Hey, listen, man, files get lost. Like ask people what happened to the original House of the Dead code.
That's a good point. And maybe, they were a spunky startup company and they didn't think, nobody, he'll keep it. I'm sure he'll keep it. How many times have you, I'm sure he's got it on his computer. It's fine. And then later on we need it. And it's like, oh no, it's gone. So we got
the black marker guy was laid off.
Why, of all the people to fire, why would you start with him? Damn it. Now we're done.
Oh,
so B, you've got kind of a big day planned. I've got about 5 minutes left. Any final thoughts on this image, life in general?
Go for another, 18 minutes, because it's an hour and 18 minutes that these streams have to be exactly.
Oh, I had no idea.
Exactly.
I had no idea.
Oh, we're the beginning of the train,
or the average of speculation videos. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day. Definitely already a little little tired, but I think it should be a fun day just to connect. I really enjoyed chatting with Michael and Justin yesterday with Justin Wong, because
so
right
good.
before we started my little preview night show, I literally got into the hotel. I sat down. It was just me. And I was like, Mike, Justin, come on and talk with me because I don't know what to talk about. And then all of a sudden, Justin Wong walked into the room, and I'm just walking and I'm like, oh, hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like literally one of the most iconic figures. So I fanboyed for a moment, and then I like shyly asked, hey, you wanna join me in a quick live stream really fast? And he's like, yeah, sure. He's super nice, like super genuine. And you can tell when I had that quick conversation with him, he was really super excited. So I'm excited to see him in front of the camera more. I think especially as a rep for Arcade1up, that's gonna be fun. But man, if I could see him play a game, I'm definitely going to challenge him in at least one game of Marvel vs. Capcom. That is my goal, to take a round on.
You're going to get whooped so bad.
And then I can say I got whipped by Jay Wong. That's amazing.
my favorite thing is you're talking about like, I think I can take a round from him. We're all taking side bets on how quickly he beats you.
That's the actual bet.
Yeah.
Can you even get a hit on him, right?
I don't know if he's used to playing like competitively, on cabinets at all. So, or whatever. He's used to playing on his own stick in his own zone. So I might be able to nudge him a little, get a little bad boy home arcade-ish and show you how bad
old school
really be.
On the bad boy.
Really scare him. Start with putting a quarter on the on the glass right there.
And he's
be like, what is that?
Yeah.
He's going to be so confused by that. He's going to be like, but there's coinless operation. You're just going to throw him completely out.
Yeah. That was my most excited part. But the funny thing is I actually registered to participate in tournaments at EVO. So there's actually pool rounds going on today for Mortal Kombat 11, King of Fighters. I think tomorrow Street Fighter 5. And I signed up for all 3 of those tournaments. I don't know if I'm gonna make it into them based on what I'm planning on doing coverage wise, but it should be fun. I do want to actually get on the floor of Evo and bring that to the community. So expect when I do plan on going live later on today, just to kind of continue the hype train after the official show. And I want to be on the floor to bring some of that to you guys. So hopefully that'll be fun. And maybe I'm going to try to do something a little bit more of community reactions to what Arcade1up has announced. And so I'm going to try to get creative. I think it could be fun.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see you on Blitz. It's going to be so cool. As Brett
Can I
supposed to leak it, man?
Can I tell you my secret hope for this weekend is that
Yes.
you get in there and all of a sudden you start kicking ass. You have one of these wizard moments where you make it to the end. And I keep imagining the end of the tournament is
finals.
and what game will they play off on? Street Fighter 6. The big screen pops up like Super Mario Brothers 3.
Like Mario Brothers 3 from the
Yes.
Be awesome.
As long as there's a white box that I can hide behind and peek past the first stage.
It's gonna be awkward you running away from the private eye to get away from your original mother, but that's fine. I'm okay with it.
It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
Oh, wouldn't it be great to have a remake of The Wizard?
Totally. Starring B-Count.
That would be so cool if you could have an actual real leaked game or tie-in of some unreleased, unseen game, and that's actually the end of the movie. That I don't know if you can do that now. I don't know if you can.
They're gonna have to re-release the glove and then make everybody play on that.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
so bad.
It's
Well, that's what he says in the movie, right? He
It's the
holds it
greatest
up and he
thing
tells
ever.
the truth. It's so bad. I will recommend rifftracks.com. You can purchase from their website a digital download of the movie The Wizard, which includes the Mystery Science Theater 3000 guys doing commentary over The Wizard, and it is fantastic.
That sounds amazing. I actually have not seen that episode. I got to check that out. Guys, we're right at an hour. I want to thank everybody on the panel for showing up. B, I know you got a huge day. Looking forward to seeing Blitz in the flesh. It's going to be awesome. Everybody crowded around it. Shaq's going to be there, just sort of hovering over the cabinet. It's going to be amazing. Guys.
That's your guess, including Shaq. Thanks.
Get that signature, too. Well, ask him why he didn't sign the cabinet. I can't believe Shaq's not. It's probably on the other side.
My signature just too big.
He ran out of ink.
It's on the other side.
Now, Big Diesel. Big
I'm
Diesel.
done at the
Big
bottom.
Diesel.
B. They ain't got a big enough Sharpie for me. I can't handle it.
There was not enough ink in the Epson Nico tank.
That's
That's
right.
why.
Well, they fired the black marker guy, so there was no black
There it
marker to
is.
use. So it all just comes full circle.
There you
Anyway,
go.
guys, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel, checking out this leak. Stay tuned to this channel and many other channels this week. Today, we're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff going on. Arcade1up's official YouTube channel is going to have some stuff popping today. Last minute, snuck in there. $2 super chat from my buddy Ezekiel, the Chicago Rich Ranger. Have a good day, guys. Can't wait for the Arcade1up show. Absolutely. Thanks so much for stopping by, everybody. Checking out the channel. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will see you next time. We're out.